JaMarr Chase talked for over 10 minutes in the Bengals locker room. It's the first time we've heard from him since January. What I think about JaMarr's comments, plus, is T. Higgins going to play on Sunday against the Patriots? The latest on Kris Jenkins and much, much more right now on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Welcome in to CBT. I'm James Rapien of BengalsTalk.com. We're less than 48 hours away from Bengals football, from 2024, from the season opener, from all of these things. And yet I have more questions now than I have answers, at least when it comes to health. From a JaMarr Chase standpoint, though, I do have some answers for you. Please hit that subscribe button. Join the 46,000 plus Bengals fans that have subscribed, and stay tuned for all of the content we have coming your way over the next 5 months as this season kicks off. And who knows, maybe it will be a 5-month season. Let's dive into it. JaMarr Chase, talk today. I don't think a deal gets done. And there has been chirps and little birdies and little voices in the world that have said why it wouldn't get done. And we kind of had a hunch on Thursday night that it wouldn't. And then Ari Myroff of the 33rd team talked about this on his podcast, and it kind of lined up, and it's simple. The APY for JaMarr's offer that the Bengals have given him, and that's average per year, is good. But there's guaranteed money, there's cash flow, a 6-year cash flow, and those two numbers just aren't where the Bengals want them, or where Chase's camp wants them from the Bengals. And so when JaMarr said, oh yeah, well, let's move a couple numbers around, it sounds simple, but it feels like the Bengals are dug in. Maybe not. Maybe they're not dug in. Maybe there's more negotiating. JaMarr said today was kind of his deadline in his mind, that he was willing to play without a deal. I think the Bengals are willing to go into the season without a deal. And so I just don't think a deal happens. We'll see. Maybe it does. Maybe things come together real quick, and by the time this video airs, we're doing a breaking news. Oh my goodness, JaMarr Chase on a contract extension. I don't think that's going to be the case. The other thing, and this one really surprised me, and that entire JaMarr video is on this channel. So after you're done with this, and I'm going to get to T. Higgins in just a second, make sure that you check out the JaMarr video just for all the context. A couple of things. One, he mentioned that the Bengals approached him first, and also added 6 to 7 months ago. Well, if that's the case, the Bengals were trying to get ahead of Justin Jefferson, which is probably why the JaMarr, I assume JaMarr probably slowed that process down. And then when Justin Jefferson's deal got done, then he's like, all right, well, we can speed it up. And the Bengals looked at Jefferson's deal and were like, we'll see. And then CeeDee Lamb's deal gets done. Clearly, the Jefferson deal isn't an outlier. There's a $4 million difference total. And boom, there you go. What I think is interesting is the Bengals try to be proactive with JaMarr. And I could have told them, like, if you were going to be proactive, you understand that he's going to wait for Justin. You understand that he's not going to take some kind of non-market deal, and the market is set now. And so who knows? Maybe they figure out something. I think it's really, really unlikely. JaMarr did say that he's a game time decision, added that he's willing to play and bet on himself and all of those things. And I think he was trying to apply a little pressure. I don't think the pressure will be felt. I think that this is going to end up going into Sunday, that the New England Patriots are going to be in town and JaMarr Chase is going to play. I think he will be limited some. Said his decision to play or not play has nothing to do with T. Higgins' hamstring injury, which we're going to get to in literally 40 seconds. But it's a bummer that they weren't able to get something done with JaMarr, assuming that's the case. And you better believe, and I know people dismiss this, you better believe veterans in that room are like, man, if that guy can't get paid, that's a real thing. If that guy can't get paid, then why can't I? And I do think, and JaMarr said this, that there's optimism about getting a deal done next offseason if it doesn't get done now. But it stinks that you can't just get it done, get it over with, and move on. And so we'll see if they get something done. I don't think it's going to happen this off season, in the next 36 hours. It would really have to be the next 24 hours. We will keep you up to date there. All right, time to get to T. Higgins. By the way, this video brought to you by Rivertown Inquiry. I'm wearing this shirt right here. See the little Bearcat swag? Get your Bearcat gear. They play Pittsburgh tomorrow. Big game at the Nip. But go to rivertowninquiry.com for all things Cincinnati apparel. And let's dive into T. Higgins. This sucks. Really unfortunate. So T. Higgins showed up on the injury report on Thursday, limited. Friday, not at practice. The vibes I'm getting, I would be surprised if T. Higgins plays. It's just the vibes. No one's called me and told me for sure. No one said, oh, yeah, like that's what's going to happen. But I got a notification. I was like, oh, is that still on JaMarr watch? So I was looking down at my phone. But to me, he has a history of hamstrings. Didn't practice on a Friday. It's a really light day. Zach says we'll see. Contract year, history of hamstrings, contract year. Like if you're T and you're 82%, you can't go out there with a hamstring. You can't. That's literally what you were training for this offseason. That's literally it, is to avoid those soft tissue injuries. And so, assuming that's the case, I would be stunned if T. Higgins plays on Sunday. Again, reading the tea leaves, maybe it changes. So, with a limited JaMarr Chase, T. Higgins, in James Rapien's mind, not expected to play. Where do you go? And this is assuming JaMarr plays. Well, I think Andre Yosavash and Trenton Irwin will start. Andre in the slot, Irwin outside, along with JaMarr. And I think you will see Charlie Jones a ton. Jermaine Burton, probably active. So there's 5. And they might, because JaMarr is limited, elevate a Shedrick Jackson. Elevate one of these guys, Kendrick Pryor, if Kendrick is feeling good health-wise. He was dealing with a hand injury late in training camp or late in preseason. So keep an eye on that, because I do think that there's a decent chance that happens, and that's kind of the scenario that we're looking at, and who knows how long T will be out. Also, some unfortunate news for Kris Jenkins. Played through a thumb injury, suffered a thumb injury on Wednesday, played through it. Turns out he needed surgery. He's going to miss a couple of weeks with surgery. Just a bummer. I talked to him in the locker room yesterday, and he was set on playing. And that's how quickly things changed. We literally posted a video of T. Higgins yesterday after practice. And maybe the adrenaline was still going or whatever the case is. But from then till Friday morning, something changed because he wasn't on the practice field Friday morning. Kris Jenkins, I'm sure it was like irking him a little bit. And when I was talking to him, he didn't seem super concerned about the injury, but maybe they went through it again, reevaluated, and realized that surgery would be the best option. But that's a bummer too, because the Bengals have to stop the run on Sunday. So there's some drama. There's some questions. I don't think a JaMarr Chase deal gets done. I don't think T. Higgins plays on Sunday. I do think JaMarr Chase will play on Sunday. I obviously need to see this Bengals defense and how they're going to stop the run against a team in the Patriots that want to run. So there you go. There's the latest on all things JaMarr Chase, T. Higgins, Kris Jenkins, injuries. Oh, it is just keeps piling up. It really does. And there's a bunch of little things that have added up. Overall, we will see. But I don't anticipate T. Higgins playing on Sunday. And hopefully the Bengals can figure out a way. Regardless, you know what you can do? Find your way to rivertowninquiry.com, because if you're looking for orange and black gear, I promise you that's the place to go. They have all of the orange and black gear that you would want in one spot. So check them out. They have 2 locations, Findlay Market in Oakley, or again online at rivertowninquiry.com. For Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.